copyright law in the universe is going to stop me!
Hey, what is going on, guys? And what you just heard was a famous video game quote. We're going to be doing those on most of my commentaries nowadays, and if you know who that is a quote from or what game that is from even, be sure to drop it in the comment section below. I'll see how long I can keep on finding famous or funny video game quotes for that, but what we are talking about today is YouTube networks, particularly Machinima, and how Machinima has, in my mind, changed a lot. Looking at statistics over time, you can tell that Machinima's expectations for their partners, what you need to get in the door, has lowered quite a bit. I remember back when we started, maybe a year ago, Dylan kept saying, you think if we get somewhere, you think if our channel grows, will we be able to ever get a Machinima partnership? Because at the time, a Machinima partnership, I mean, if you hit Machinima, you were like in the big leagues. And of course, I'd tell Dylan, that's a long ways off. That's very unrealistic with the quality of our videos at the time, and still the quality of our videos now, looking at Machinima's expectations a year, 2 years ago, when their expectations were so much higher. And you look at the social blades now, you look at Machinima. Machinima has 10,000, nearly 11,000 members, which isn't completely ridiculous when you think about how Fullscreen has 28,000 members. But Machinima has basically taken on a ton of smaller channels lately. And it's not that I have a problem with smaller channels getting partnerships, because, we're a smaller channel with a partnership, but I feel like Machinima has lost that sense of pride, that sense of excitement that goes into saying, hey, I'm a Machinima partnership now. I feel like we've lost that excitement. And I look at the board, I look at the social blades of all these different networks, and I think, who's going to be the next Machinima? Who's going to have that coveted network that you want to try for? And I think it's came down now that our top guys are going to be Polaris, formerly The Game Station. They are actually underneath Maker Studios. I'm not quite sure how many people Polaris has attached to them. It really is not very many. Maker Studios has just 223 members. That's extremely low. Their subscription rank is 20th among other YouTube networks, which is not particularly good. But you are looking at a channel that doesn't really have too many members. So when you have less members, your statistics are going to be lower on a lot of ends, unless your big members are really pulling in the big numbers. And I think that's what Machinima has started to see. They started to see, if we can pull in some lower sub channels, we can make it look like our subscriber numbers are higher. We can get our name out there more. Not that they have to, because their name is already so out there. But the thing that gets me about Maker Studios, about Polaris, is, Polaris recently changed its name from the Gamer Station. It didn't even seem to even phase it that it was having this problem. And the other thing about it is that, despite that it's changed its name, despite that it is, maybe a channel that not a lot of us have particularly heard of, unless we've been looking at YouTube stuff for a while, is that it's a partnership so exclusive that Polaris comes to you and they say, hey, we want you to be our partner. And the same thing happens with a few other networks. Mostly IGN is going to be your other big one, where they're going to come and say to you, hey, we want you on board here. But I mean, that is some serious stuff if you are at that level. And I used to feel like Machinima was just a step away from that high-level IGN thing. But Machinima, to me, has fallen down to, where like TGN, like Fullscreen, like Zoom In, like we have, where they're basically taking anybody. And I feel like, to me, Machinima's really lost what they used to have, and that really disappoints me. But guys, I'd like to hear your opinions on Machinima, your opinions on the more exclusive networks, and your opinions on, is that an overall goal of someone starting on YouTube, is to make it somewhere, make it that far? And I think it really is. Our goal right now is to get to 1,000 subs, get that Curse partnership. Curse has 1,500 members. I mean, that's not as many as we are in right now with Zoom In, but you have to think, the less members a network has, the faster they're going to help you out, the more on their priority you're going to be. So, guys, tell me what you think about Machinima. Tell me what you think about other YouTube partnerships, and I'd really like to hear your opinions, because this is something that lately has really gotten me how stuff has started to change. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to comment on what you thought that quote at the beginning of the video was.